Coming up on today's show, we have a recipe that includes ham that your family is just gonna love. That's all coming up next. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterberg.
And I'm Laverne Dede.
And we have a recipe today that is got ranch and ham, and your family's just gonna love it. And it is called ranch ham and cheese pasta.
Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
It does. It does. To make this recipe, cook along with us, get a piece of paper out and write these ingredients down. You're going to need a 16-ounce package of penne or medium tube pasta, cup of milk, 1/4 cup butter, 2 envelopes of ranch dressing, a teaspoon of garlic salt, a teaspoon of lemon pepper seasoning, a teaspoon of garlic pepper. Sounds a little spicy too.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
2 cups of shredded Monterey Jack cheese, a cup of sour cream, 2 cups of ham, fully cooked ham, a 1/2 cup of crushed saltines, and a 1/4 cup Parmesan cheese.
Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Sounds pretty good. And this is one thing, you don't have to cook it in the oven.
Right.
All on the stovetop.
It's all on the stove. Correct.
So what we're going to make with that today, we got a submitted recipe from our neighbor Sharon Runcorn here in Dickinson. Glazed lemon zucchini bread.
Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
It does. And zucchini, now is the season.
Yeah,
So
it's the season.
absolutely. If you don't want to try a new recipe for your zucchini, what you're going to need for this recipe are 2 cups of cake flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 eggs, a 1/2 cup of canola oil, 1.5 cups sugar, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 1/2 cup buttermilk, zest of a lemon, a cup of grated zucchini, and then for the glaze, you're also going to need a 1/4 cup of poppy seed in that, sorry. And for the glaze, you're going to need a cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, and 1 tablespoon milk.
That's it. Yeah.
So pretty easy too, but we need to bake that guy.
That's right. We bake it at 350, so we have the oven heated to that temperature right now.
Okay.
So we're going to start with our lemon zucchini bread and get that in the oven. So, because our ham pasta won't take as long.
Okay, sounds good.
And this recipe here, like I said, was submitted by Sharon, a Runcorn next door. It's a lemon zucchini bread. It doesn't, a poppy seed is an option with this, but love lemon poppy seeds. So
Yes.
we're going to add the poppy seed, but again, it's optional. So
Okay.
we use 2 cups cake flour.
Okay.
Now, in the event that you don't have cake flour on hand, my understanding is if you use regular flour and decrease it by 1 tablespoon per cup, that will constitute, help, substituting for the cake flour.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what you do. And just so that I'm going to put my baking powder right into my flour right away.
Okay.
Just going to mix my dry ingredients in there. And it's not too many dry ingredients. It's just 2 cups flour, 2 teaspoons baking soda, or powder, excuse me, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we got that in there. And we're going to set that aside. So what we're going to do is we want to beat our eggs.
Okay.
So look at that. Oh, that was a
Double yolker.
Double yolker, that's right. Okay, so 2 eggs, and we're going to just blend that. And then we'll add the sugar and the oil.
Okay.
And one thing nice we talked about, zucchini is in season, but zucchini is so great to freeze.
Yes.
So this is a recipe you can have all year round. Come winter and you just want to have something to bake or whatever.
Right.
Get that frozen zucchini out of the freezer and make yourself some lemon zucchini bread.
Sounds great.
Okay. Just beat that up for a few moments, and now I'm going to add the 1.5 cups of sugar.
Okay.
And blend that up. And then it calls for 1/2 cup of oil. So we'll get that blended. And the recipe does call for canola oil, but you know, I really don't think that that would make a difference if you want it, if you didn't have canola, that you use vegetable oil or any other oil that you may just have on hand. So then a half a cup of buttermilk. And you know, one thing too, I find that with buttermilk, you know, you have it, but you don't have so many things that you're going to use a pint of buttermilk maybe right away or something. And buttermilk freezes great.
Oh, it does.
I freeze my buttermilk, and next time I need it, or I might go ahead and freeze it in a cup quantity rather than the whole container, and it does well. Just put it in a good container. So we'll just put that in the fridge though.
Okay.
So we get that blended, and then we use 2 tablespoons of lemon juice.
Okay.
And we're also going to grate some lemon zest into the batter here, into the mix. That's just going to give it a real great lemony flavor.
Probably could have squeezed the lemon and got your lemon juice out of the lemon too.
I definitely could have, but I have another recipe we're going to do at a little later to use that fresh lemon.
Oh.
So I already had.
You have a plan.
I have a plan. That's right. So we'll just mix that up good here.
Okay.
Whoop.
Whoa.
It went the wrong direction. Okay, I got a little bit of sugar here. What I'm going to do is just put this bowl underneath there so I can grate that, some lemon zest. And you know, if you don't have fresh lemon to grate, you know, you can buy the granulated lemon zest, which would work well too. So, and
Depends on what's at your disposal.
Correct. And sometimes, you know, you just don't always have all those things handy, you know, the fresh lemon, but you can certainly, you know, the granulators in your cupboard, you just go ahead and reach for it. So, and I know this is a pretty big lemon, and I'm just doing it pretty lightly over it. You want to make sure you wash it well and that. So we're just going to set that aside there. And that was a good, probably 2 tablespoons of the lemon zest.
Oh yeah.
And that, but that's just going to give it such a good lemon flavor. Okay, so we're going to add our dry ingredients. Put that in here. So it doesn't take a lot to mix this together.
No, not at all.
It goes quite quickly.
Are there other recipes that you make that, you know, if you're going to make quite a few recipes that have cake flour, or do you recommend just going and...
You know, the reason I have cake flour is for to make a homemade angel food cake.
Okay.
And because that definitely, you want to use cake flour for angel food cake.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of other recipes for that. We'll just have to research and maybe do some of those things.
Sure.
But, you know, with the bread, it's a little bit different than angel food cake. To substitute regular flour and just decrease it by 2 tablespoons for the 2 cups flour.
Okay.
You know, is pretty simple.
Okay.
You know. Okay, I do want to just bring that down here. Scrape that bowl a little bit. And you can put it in a 9 by 5 bigger cake pan.
Okay.
But I do like to use smaller
loaf pans.
Yes. So I'm going to have you just spray these 2. We're going to wait and see how much batter we actually have, if we need that little one yet there too.
Okay.
Okay, so that's blended here. And the zucchini and the poppy seed, I'm going to just fold in. I don't need to, you know, mix that with the mixer.
Okay. And you can certainly smell the lemon.
Doesn't
It smells
smell
like
good?
such a good smell.
It is. Okay. So and you want to make sure that you definitely spray your pans generously with this, you know, so the bread comes out. And I've got a cup of grated zucchini here.
Okay.
And again, this isn't something that needs to be so exact. So if you have a little more or a little less, you know, I think your recipe is going to do it just fine. And I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of poppy seed.
Okay.
And then with this one, we're going to put a glaze over it when it's still warm, you know, and that's going to make
Absolutely.
it really good.
I like zucchini recipes, and I certainly do like bread versus almost cake. Sometimes I think the cake, usually it's the chocolate, and it has a little bit different flavor, still good, but
It does
I so like the zucchini breads.
Okay, you know, I think I'm going to I'll use
Still
that.
use this one?
Yes. It's a little smaller pan than these here, but I think to have that. There.
So it doesn't go crazy.
And the reason, you know, I like using the smaller ones, so if I'm lucky that there's a loaf to freeze, you know, you have a smaller loaf to freeze. And then we're going to put this in the oven for, it says 40 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
So let's just bring that on in here. And being I do have the smaller pans, I'm going to put it at the 40 minutes to start with, and then we'll check it. If we need to add a few more minutes, we can.
Okay, sounds good.
So, okay, that didn't quite give me my time here, did it? Okay. There we go. Okay, now what we need to do here is we're going to, this water was boiling a little bit ago, but I'm going to just heat that up. We want to, you know, cook our pasta before that. And this one here, what we're going to start out with. In fact, the first 7 ingredients that you did have in the recipe, or you mentioned, we're going to add.
Okay.
So we're going to add a 1/4 cup of butter here.
Okay.
And get that going and get that melted, and then we'll add, like I said, all the other ingredients. With the ranch dressing, I do buy mine in bulk in the recipe, and it does state on there that use 2 packages of ranch dressing, or which constitutes 1 ounce per, you know, package. So if you use your bulk ranch, you use 2 tablespoons of, or excuse me, 2 ounces, which is a little bit more than 2 tablespoons of ranch dressing. So that's what.
Wow. So we got a special thing that says ounces.
Yes.
See, now you have to go out and get more stuff for your kitchen.
Absolutely, it's great. You know those little gadgets.
We should be like involved with this with a gadget store.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, then I'd have to add on to the kitchen because I would never be able to stop. So we're melting that.
Lots of cool stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Then we're going to add a cup of milk.
Okay.
And you know, one thing you can do with this recipe is, because, you know, we have our butter and we have the milk and the sour cream, you can add, you do like, you know, fat-free milk and fat-free sour cream if you want to lighten it up and decrease the calories already. And use, you know, definitely a lean ham, whatever. So that all makes a difference to what, how many calories you'll have in your recipe. So we're going to get that melted here, and then we're going to add the 2 ounces of ranch dressing.
Okay.
And get that mixed. And if you'd like, I would get my teaspoon over there for measuring my garlic powder and salt there. And This year I did just measure out, it was a teaspoon of lemon garlic, I mean
Okay.
a lemon pepper, I should say. That was there. And all of these are a teaspoon, correct. Just put that in there. And then a teaspoon of garlic pepper. Okay. So with all the seasonings we have with the ranch and a little bit of the garlic salt and that, we're not adding additional salt to it.
Right. No,
'Cause
we have
you're-
plenty there.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
then, you know.
Especially ranch, those three things right there.
Yes, so we're gonna just melt that in there. And we're going to add the cheese, but we're gonna wait to add the sour cream until the cheese is melted and all that.
Okay.
So,
And that was 2 cups of cheese.
yep. And it's the Colby-Monterey cheese too. And actually, if you would use mozzarella cheese and stuff, that's a lower fat cheese. So if you wanted to, again, thinking about this great dish, but just want to cut down a little bit on it, just
Sure.
use some of your mozzarella cheese is low fat.
Okay.
So hopefully our water comes to a boil here pretty quick. And our penny noodles, or they just said ones with,
The
a
tubes.
whole tubes in there, whatever. That's just, you don't want to make them real soft. So it's kind of that.
Al dente.
Yes, correct. So I'm going to get a spoon to stir our noodles up then with. And it says 16 ounces, which is 1 box.
Okay.
Is a box full, so look at that. You know what I really should have grabbed for was my wooden spoon to lay across, because you remember the tip I said, when you lay a wooden spoon across a boiling noodles or whatever, it does not run over.
Really? I don't remember that tip.
You don't remember that tip that I had given? Absolutely, and it does work. So
And how does that work?
I don't. It's magic, but
You don't know the physics part of it. You just
no,
know that it works.
That's correct. I just
So
have
there's a smart tip. We just don't know how it works.
right. So I'm going to just go grab a wooden spoon, but it is just kind of it is amazing to think that something like that. So boiling noodles, anything, rice or whatever. Sometimes we like to put the heat up and get it going, and then we kind of forget, and pretty soon we have a mess all over our stoves. So
See, I think I would remember that because I have a tendency to do that. So
yeah, that's right. And
make sure I
I'm
have wooden spoons in my kitchen now.
absolutely, I'm sure you do in that. So we're gonna just leave that go for a little bit there. And it also asks for a 4th cup of Parmesan cheese, but actually what we're going to do with the Parmesan cheese, we're going to just garnish it on top of the dish when we have it
Okay.
ready and stuff,
Okay,
and
sounds
add
good.
it in and stuff.
You got
And-
breadcrumbs or cracker
Yep.
crumbs?
The cracker crumbs, sour cream, and ham will get added once this is all melted and bubbly and stuff. So then our noodles should be cooking here pretty quick.
Okay.
Okay, our cheese is all melted in here. Our noodles were done, and we just went ahead and drained them.
Okay.
So I'm going to add my cup of sour cream. There, let me get my spatula here. And it's about a half a container here, and then a cup is 8 ounces.
Okay.
So we'll just put that in there. Okay. And just get that.
Stirred in.
And then we'll add our ham.
All right.
Okay,
And that's a nice lean ham that you got there.
it is. And they say 2 cups of chopped ham, and that's just about what I have here. And like I said, it's a great way to use up some leftover ham. And this is exactly what I did here, was some leftover ham that I had actually just made. I put it in the freezer, put it, doing that vacuum sealing with your bags and that, and it keeps it really great and stuff. So we're going to add a half a cup of soda crackers crushed, and it says about 15 soda crackers is about what equals.
Okay.
And you know, when I was doing it and I had counted them out, it actually is just right at that. So
it did take the time to figure that out.
somebody did, yes. Okay. So we're going to add our noodles here. And like you say, it's just great not to have to bake it. You can just make it all here. So be something, you know, if it's a hot day and you don't want to put that oven on.
Absolutely.
Just go ahead and, you know, mix it all up here.
Because it didn't take long to put together or melt the cheeses or anything.
It doesn't. But can you smell that ranch dressing in there?
Absolutely.
It smells really good. And that cheese. So we're going to just let that set here for a little bit. And let's come on over here and let's make our glaze.
Okay.
What it is, you're going to use a cup of powdered sugar.
Okay.
And it says, make sure that and a tablespoon of milk and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice.
Okay.
You know, and there's differences in when you purchase lemon juice, making sure that it's made from real lemons.
And not lemon concentrate.
Right, you have to, you know, some of the better brand that I thought was going to be excellent lemon juice wasn't the pure lemon juice. So definitely when you're looking for lemon juice, look at the ingredients in the bottle. It does make a difference. So
Okay.
and then a tablespoon of milk. And the glaze is going to be pretty thin,
Yes.
but we wanted a glaze. It's not a frosting.
Okay.
So we're going to just mix that up here, and then we'll just leave that set until our bread is done. Got a few more minutes on that, and then we'll be able to feature our ranch ham and pasta
Sounds
with
good.
our bread. So we will be back shortly.
Sounds great.
Well, our pasta is done now. It's nice, hot and warm, and it looks like our bread is done. It did go off at 40 minutes, and I did check it, and I did put it on for another 5 minutes.
Okay.
So just knowing that it did take that, so we'll just there.
Oh, that smells awesome.
Doesn't it though? Okay, we'll just bring that over here, and because essence of time, we're going to put the glaze on. But
Okay.
you know, and you are to glaze it when it's warm. But you know, definitely it's probably hot. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and it's going to soak a little bit into the bread,
Okay.
and that's what a glaze will do here.
Now this bread doesn't puff up like a normal loaf bread. Is that because of the cake flour in there?
It's the baking powder.
Oh, okay.
Versus baking soda. You know,
Okay.
that makes, you know, the difference there. So I just glazed that one, and then I'm gonna just take that out so that we can cut it and show that.
Sure.
Here. So let's just see how well that pops out here. Oh, that come out really, really nice. So we can take that away, and then I'm going to just go ahead and cut a little bit of that so we can see what that looks like in the center. So, oh,
And with the zucchini in here, it's going to be such a moist bread.
it's going to be wonderful. Absolutely. So we have
And it's just steaming. This is...
showing that there. And let's get a plate and show our pasta.
Okay.
And we'll just go ahead and mix that up a little bit here. There, that's warm. And so it's kind of nice, everybody, you know, hopefully everybody's at the dinner table at the same time, but if they're not, they can just go and help themselves to
Well, and what
a
an
little bit-
easy casserole to go and pop in the microwave when there's leftovers for a quick, easy meal that, you know, don't be afraid to make this and even freeze some of it.
Absolutely. So we garnish it a little bit with some Parmesan cheese. And I even have some parsley. Let's just make that there. Not that it needs anything to make it taste better, but eye appeal is great.
All right. All right. Well, we have to thank Sharon Runcorn for submitting the bread, and again, poppy seed optional, but
Yes.
amazing with it if you like poppy seed. And thank you, Mom, for cooking that dish for us. Always learn something new in the kitchen every time we do this. Always thank you to the Workshop for being our sponsor, and thank you for joining us on Cooking Crave.